Okay, so I'm just starting with this. So, okay, today we'll see the design of laterally unsupported beam as per IS 800 2007. Okay, we'll move further. Now the introduction. Okay, introduction. Okay, now how you define the design of beam is very simple. Okay, in design of beam in steel structure, I can design or you can design the I-beam. Okay, I-beam or it can be used as a column also. Okay, so there are two sections are there design of in beams. There are one is a individual beam, that is I can design or I can use the beam by using single section, that is ISMB, ISWB, like this, that is readily available in the market. The second type of beam is that if the last beam available in the that is in steel table, that is sorry ISMB 600. Okay, in some cases if ISMB 600 is not sufficient, okay, to take for the design purpose, in that case we'll switch over to the build-up beams, in which I can make combination of more than two beams. Like the second example you can see here, this is the individual beam, and then this is the second is called as a built-up beam. Okay, in this there are two eye sections are used and one cover plate and bottom plate is used to strengthen this beam. That means it is also the one economical purpose. Okay, so this is the another example of the beam in which single beam having top cover plate and bottom cover plate is there. Okay, and this is the second. I'm they are using the two I beams. Okay, now in design of beams there are two types in as per IS 800. One is design of laterally supported beam, and one is called as a design of laterally unsupported beam. So today we'll see the design of laterally unsupported beam. Okay, many students feel that design of laterally unsupported beam is very complicated, as it have the lots of formulas given in IS 800, but it's very simple actually. Okay, so we'll see later on. Okay, so we'll this is the introduction. Now the type of beams I already explained. Okay, okay, sorry. So this is one the castellated beam also. Okay, so in this, so you can say castellated beam is the another type in which the wave, okay, a wave is having the open spaces. That is you can see is a hexagon. Okay, white is used actually, it reduces the cost. Okay, but it is ready-madely available in the market. That means if you design at particular, because while designing you have to design this opening also. Okay, and in market the usually available sizes are available in the market, that is without the wave opening. Okay, if you want to propose the wave opening, that is castellated beam, you have to order separately so that the manufacturer can made as per your specification. The next is the box section. Okay, normally this box section is used in the case of the railway bridges, that is called as what, deck type, or actually it is used for the deck type purpose. Okay, this is what earlier what you saw, that is the single sections, and this is what the castellated beam and box section. We'll switch. Okay, so next important thing is lateral stability. Lateral stability of beam. Okay, it is actually, it is very important because when you design one simple beam having I section, or it can be at having the built-up beam, actually lateral stability means what happen if the beam is having the UDL on that or the point load on that, it will be buckle in, it will be buckle like this. Okay, If the point load is at the center, it will be buckle like this. It will be give the bending moment like this triangle. If it is a UDL, it will be buckle parabolic. Okay. But what happened in some cases, it can be buckle laterally. Okay. It is okay. It is okay. You are designing for the buckling. Okay, sagging movement, but it can be having the lateral moment also. And if you see the design, the laterally stability is very important. Okay, because it is under the minor axis. You are designing the I beam like this. Okay, it is in the major axis because bending is like this. It is under the major axis. But what happen if that I beam is laterally buckled? It will be have the minor axis. Okay, in minor axis, the stability of the beam is very weak. Okay, so that you have to take care about this lateral stability. Okay, there are various things or clauses are given in IS 800 2007. Okay, so we'll move further. Okay. Now this is a second type of beam laterally supported. Sorry, first type. Okay. Uh, Previously, what we discussed about the lateral stability. Okay. Now this is the first type of beam. I already explained laterally supported. That is called as a restrained beam. Okay. Now how do you define the restrained beam? Uh, if any beam, if any beam, if any beam uh, is having the slab, it can be RCC, it can be steel also at the top flange or at the bottom flange. It is called as the laterally supported. That means the flange that is top or bottom flange is laterally restrained. Okay, it cannot be buckled laterally. This type of beam is called as what? Laterally supported beam. Okay, you can see the second example of this. This is the first example, that is what you can see the I beam is there and here the RCC slab is there, that is called as a deck slab. Normally this condition arises in case of the FOB, foot of bridges. Okay, now the second example you can see here, the beam, two beams having the cross beams. Okay, that is called as a bracing. It is also the example of the laterally supported beam in which this beam is restrained against lateral buckling. Okay. The third example you can see here at the bottom. Two I-beams is connected by the member. Again, it is the example of what? Laterally supported. Okay. So it is not necessary that a top flange and bottom flange is attached with the some other member. It can, the web is also attached with the some members. It is also called as what? Laterally supported beam. Okay. So next is design. I'm just giving a brief that is already done earlier. Design step for the laterally supported beam as per IS 800. Okay. So what is the first step? This is very simple. If the load is given, what is our UDL or a point load? Okay. So you have to just read that question very carefully, whether it is mentioned factored or ultimate load. If it is not there, we have to multiply by 1.5, that is called as a factor load. The first step will be the calculate the bending moment and shear force. Okay, because you have to design for the bending moment and you have to check for the shear. Okay, now the next step you have to calculate the plastic section. Okay, plastic section. Okay, the plastic section can be calculated by okay, Zp equals to mu by Fy upon 1.1. Now here 1.1 is called as a factor, partial safety factor in yielding. It is already given in IS 800. There is no need to remember the value of this one. Okay. Now mu is a maximum bending moment that you calculate earlier. Fy is a yield stress of a given grade of steel. Okay. That is what? 250. Normally in case it is not given, you can assume what? 250. Now if I, after the calculating of Zp, okay, so one table is given in IS 800 in which the Zp value is already given. You have to choose the matching section, that is what ZP, okay, not ZE, because ZE is what elastic and ZP is what plastic modulus. Okay, now from IS 800, you have to choose ZP. Okay, now depending upon this, one trial section is using. Okay, so from IS 800 or SP16 is in SP16 is actually have the steel table. Okay, what you have the steel table, it is actually SP6. Okay, there are lots of properties is given in SP6. Okay, now the next step beam is shall be checked for the shear leg and the design bending strength as given in clause number 8.2.1.5 and 8.2.1.2, page number 53 of IS 800. Okay, the beam is also checked for the deflection. Okay, that is already we discussed. Okay, these are what, and the next is the section is checked for the web buckling and crippling using appropriate formulas. Okay, now come to the important part, design of laterally unsupported beam. I already told you, whenever the top flange or bottom flange or the web of the steel beam, it is not supported. Okay, it is not supported by any other member in lateral direction, then that beam will be buckled in the lateral direction. You can see this is the one support, this is the another support. If this beam is loading under the it is beam is loading under the UDL or point load, it can be buckled, it can be also buckled in the lateral direction also. Okay, you have to take care about this, the important thing. So we'll move further. This is called as a laterally unsupported beam. Now the design step, okay, it is very simple. So whatever I am showing you, the design steps that is given in IS 800. Okay, there is no need to remember these steps. Okay, I am just explaining you. Okay, now laterally unsupported beam, that is given in clause number 8.2.2 of your IS code. Okay, so the first thing, the design bending moments of the laterally unsupported beam is governed by the laterally torsional buckling formula, is very important, is given by MD. What is MD? MD is very simple, that is what a design moment. That MD value should be always greater than whatever the moment calculated that it is in earlier. Okay, that is whatever. Suppose the UDL is given, the maximum bending moment will be W square by that value. This MD value should be greater than that W square by 8 if there is a UDL is there. Okay. Now this MD formula will be equals to beta B ZP into FD. Now what is beta B? Beta B is equals to 1 if it is a plastic or compact section. Okay. How will you calculate this one? It is already given in IS 800. Okay. So you have to check for the whether your section is plastic or compact. Okay, if your section is semi compact, so you have to calculate ZE by ZP for the semi compact to get the value of what, beta B. Okay, now come to the second point. ZP and ZE is a plastic section modulus and elastic section modulus. Now the plastic section modulus you can calculate. Okay, and the ZE value is already given in the steel table. There is no need to calculate the ZE value. Now come to the important part. What is FBD? Okay, whole exercise is to calculate the value of what, FBD. Okay, to design, it is what is FBD? Design bending compression stress. It is obtained from table number 13A and 13B. Okay, now the one empirical formula is given, FBD, that is what, epsilon LT Fy upon gamma M0. Okay, now you can see if I want to calculate the FCD, I have to take I have to follow these all steps. Okay, XLT, the formula is given here. Okay, I'm just going further. Okay, so you have to calculate alpha LT also by this formula. Okay, now alpha LT for 0.21 for the rolled steel section. Okay, and alpha LT for 0.49 for the welded steel section. So normally we'll use the rolled steel section, that is ISMBs. Okay, so for non-dimensional slenderness ratio, Okay, gamma LT is given by this formula. Okay, so in this you have to calculate value of MCR, that is called as a elastic critical moment. Okay, calculated in accordance with the 8.2.2.1. Okay, now FCR. What is FCR? Extreme fiber bending compression stress. Okay. Now the elastic torsional buckling is you can calculate, that is MCR. You can calculate by this formula. Okay. We'll move further. Okay. The following, this is the one example, MCR. How to calculate the MCR for the eye sections and welded doubly symmetrical eye sections. Okay, so whatever the parameter, what is the parameter, it is already given here. Okay, there is no need to remember any one of the this formulas. Okay, I'm just going back. Okay, so the formula is, basic formula is MD equals to beta B into ZP into FBD. Okay, now this whole design is to calculate the value of what? FBD. So now to calculate FBD, you have to calculate this XLT, then you have to calculate this alpha LT, okay, gamma LT, all this exercise, MCR, FCR, all this exercise is only to calculate the value of uh, FBD. Okay, now forget about this. Okay, this I'm just telling you the simple methodology to design the laterally unsupported beam. Okay, this formula is okay. MD equals to beta B into ZP into uh, FBD. How you calculate the FBD? It is given in this. In case here, you can refer the table number 13A and 13B. Just I am moving forward. Okay, now see, you can see this is what the 13A. Okay, 13A, that is what the stress corresponding to lateral buckling, that is what FCD, that actually you have to calculate. Once you got the value of FCD, it's very simple. Okay, I'm just going back. Okay, once you got the FBD, okay, so it's a very simple thing. Okay, so now this 13A will show the stress corresponding to lateral buckling FBD, that is okay. Now this is alpha LT. This is for 0.21. I already told you, once again I am telling you. Okay, this is what XLT 0.21 for the rolled steel section. If you are designing as a welded plate girder or the welded steel section, so that table will be for using 0.49. Okay, but normally we'll use the rolled steel section. Therefore, always remember one thing: you have to take 0.21. Okay, I'm just moving forward. Okay, so this, by using this table, you can calculate the value of FBD. Okay, now we'll see this one. The FBD values are showing left hand side at the uh, column, left hand side column. Okay, now what is this? Fy is on the horizontal. Okay, normally we'll Fy taken as a 250, okay, Newton per mm square. Okay, now we, to calculate the value of FBD, you should know the value of what? FCR. Without knowing the value of FCR, you cannot calculate the value of what? FBD. Okay, so we'll calculate the value of what? FCR. Okay, now this is the table number 14, in which critical stress, that is FCR value, is already given in tabular form. Okay, now you can see left hand side column. Okay, KL by KL upon R ratio is given. That is what the slenderness ratio. What is K? K is a factor depending upon the support condition. Again, it is a fixed, simply supported, or hinge. Okay, it is depend upon the condition. What is L? It is unsupported length of the beam. And what is R? That is what the minimum radius of gyration. Always remember this R value will be always R minimum. Okay, now come to the horizontal portion. Okay, this is the ratio you have to calculate H upon T. Okay, what is H? H is very simple. It is the overall depth of the eye section. Okay, if I using IS 300, H value will be 300 mm. Okay, what is the TF? What is the TF? It's very simple, thickness of flange. It is not the thickness of web. It is the thickness of flange. So just you have to calculate the ratio of H upon TF. Okay, the values are given like 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, like this. Okay, and the slender ratio you have to also calculate. These two values you have to calculate, and you can calculate the value of what FCR. This is the not value of FBD. This is the values of FCR. Okay, once you got FCR, come to the this table number 13, in which the value of FCR, according to the value of FCR and FY, normally we'll assume 250, I can calculate the value of what FBD. Okay, so this is what the simple methodology is. Very simple. It is again is very simple as compared to the laterally supported beam. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so I'm just giving you the example of one of this. Okay, so just we'll take now these are what the steps. Okay, so steps I'm just briefing is uh, design data. Okay, design data, whatever the data is given, like grade of steel. Okay, length, unsupported length of the beam, grade of steel. Okay, this normally will use, and the support condition. Okay, calculation. Next step is calculation of bending moment and shear force depending upon the support conditions and the type of loading. Now the third step is the trial section. Okay, now in the design of uh, laterally supported beam, uh, I already explained you ZP you have to calculate. Okay, now here I can calculate the value of ZP also by using same formula, but as it is laterally unsupported, that ZP you have to increase by 1.3 times. Okay, this is what the formula normally you can find in the books also. Okay, if it is if you don't want that, you can assume the trial section. Okay, the trial section should be sufficient. Okay, so check for next is check for shear and check for the design strain. That is what MD equals to beta B into ZP in what FBD. Okay, now FBD, how will you calculate? First, you have to calculate the KLR by KL by R, that is the slenderness ratio. Okay, normally in case of the simply supported beam or the hinge, we'll take the K equals to 1. Okay, and that means K into L, it's called as what? Unsupported length actually. Okay, K is 1. Okay, I assume that it is what? Simply supported beam. Okay, R minimum you can calculate from the steel cable. H by TF ratio is very simple. You have to calculate from the properties. Okay, so by using these two, I can calculate the value of FCR, and from table number 14, I can calculate the value of FCR. Next step, by using that FCR from table number 13A, I can calculate the value of what? FBD, and put that FBD value in this formula, and you have to check for the strength, design strength. Okay, so just I am taking one numerical of this. Okay, first numerical: design a laterally unsupported beam having a clear span of 4.5 meter. Simply resting over the. Okay, now it is simply resting. What is the meaning of simple resting? It is what the simply supported beam actually over the end bearings of 250 mm wide, if it is carries a service UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter. Okay, now listen, there is no grade of steel is given. Okay, in this absence of data, you can assume the grade of steel. So once again, I am reading the question: design a laterally unsupported beam having a clear span of 4.5 meter, simply supported, simply resting on the over the bearings of width 250 mm. Now this width is 250 mm. Okay, and the clear span is given 4.5 meter. Okay, now this 4.5 is also called as what? Unsupported length of the beam. Okay, and it is the condition is what is given condition? Simply supported. Okay, so we'll see stepwise. Now the first step. Okay, given data. Okay, so we'll calculate now. Nothing is given excluding of the length and the UDL. Okay, now we'll see first step, L effective. What is L effective? That is 4.5 plus 0.25. That is called, this is what the clear span. It is not L effective. L effective can be calculated by adding 0.25. It becomes L effective equals to 4.75. 4.5 plus 0.25, it becomes 4.75 meter. Now come to the important one. Now carries a service load. Now it is very important service. What is the service load? It is actually the working load. Okay, that means you have to multiply by 1.5 of this 20. So if I multiply by 1.5, it becomes 30 kilonewton per meter. This UDL is what factored. Okay, remember one thing. If in numerical they are mentioned like this, the factor or ultimate load of 20 kilonewton per meter, in that case there is no need to multiply by 1.5. Okay, so we'll move further. Now step number 2, design calculation of bending moment and shear force. As this is what the UDL is given, we can calculate the bending moment, that is WA square by it. Comes 84.61, and the shear force WL by 2. It's a very simple formula, that is it comes 71.25 kilonewton. Okay, now the come to the third step, trial section. Okay, now here I am assuming ISMB 350. Okay, now how you can assume the section is very important. I already told you. If you want to note it, please write down ZP. Okay, you can calculate from IS code formula, that is a design of laterally supported beam. Same formula you can use here, but that ZP should be multiplied by 1.3 times. Okay, that is actually 30% more, that is 1.3 times of ZP. That ZP you can match with the table given in the IS 800. Okay, so from that you can also have the section, that is our trial section. Now in this case I am assuming ISMB 350. Okay, so these are what the sectional properties. H, what is H? Overall depth of the section, that is 350 mm. BF, what is BF? Width of flange, that is 140. RXX 14.29 centimeter. Okay, now listen, all the properties given in table in centimeter. Okay, you have to convert in mm. It's very simple. TW, what is TW? Thickness of web is 8.1. TF, TF is thickness of flange is 14.2. Okay, this is what mm, 8.1 mm, 14.2 mm. Okay, R1, R1 is actually, that is what the steel section. At this section you can see here, it is not a 90 degree, it is not a normal, it is having the curvature. Okay, so this is what a radius, that is what 14 mm. Okay, RYY, it is 2.84 centimeter. Okay, now how you calculate the value of D? Now this the depth of the wave, this is actually depth of the wave. It is required to check for the shear. It is equals to H, that is overall depth, minus 2 times of uh, TF. Okay, plus R1. TF plus R1. What is TF? Thickness of flange, plus R1. Okay, okay. Why it is 2? Because there are two flanges. Okay. Therefore you have to multiply by 2. So it becomes 293.6 mm. Okay, this is required for check for shear. Now B is given. Okay, B is given for 70 mm. Okay, the thickness of flange. Now you have to uh, what you have to do, you have to select your section, that is whether your section is plastic, semi plastic or compact section. For that you need to calculate the ratio of B by TF. Okay, so the B by TF ratio I got 4.9. Okay, now it is less than 4.9 epsilon. Okay, so actually epsilon equals to 1, therefore my section is what? Plastic. Okay, now the next ratio, D by TW ratio. Okay, it is coming around 36.25. It is also, it is actually less than 84 epsilon. Again it is what? Plastic. So the flange and the wave both are in the plastic. So my section, that is I section, is what? Plastic section. Okay, now come to the fourth step, design check for the design strength. Now the MD equals to beta B into ZP into what? FBD. Okay, now before that you have to calculate what? KL upon R. Okay, now K, what is K? What is it is actually the factor depending upon the support condition. In this case, as your beam is simply supported, therefore I am taking K equals to 1. Listen, K equals to 1. What is L? It is already calculated earlier, that is 4.9. 4.75. So therefore K equals to 1 into 4.71. Okay, it is converted in mm upon R minimum, that is 28.4. It is actually mm. Okay, you can see rxx and ryy. Okay, 14.29 and 2.84, that is in centimeter. If I convert in mm, it becomes 142 mm and it is 28.4. So you have to take the minimum. The minimum is what? 28.4. Okay, so this is what KL upon R minimum, that is 167. Okay, now next ratio I have to calculate H upon TF. H upon TF. H is overall depth and TF is the thickness of flange. Now this ratio is come to the 24.64. Okay, now I'm just going back side. Okay, okay, so this is what okay, now table number 13a, okay, in which okay the FBD is given, okay, but you have to calculate before that the value of what? FCR. Okay, now you can see here KL upon R ratio. Okay, KL upon R ratio we got here 167 and H by TF I got 24.64. Okay, so just KL upon R minimum 167 and 24, 167, 167, 167. So it will become between 150 and 160. Okay, now here H upon TF ratio is given. Okay, so it is coming 24.61. Again you have to interpolate. Now in this there are two interpolation, one is vertical and one is what? Horizontal. Okay, if you have the interpolation, okay, so after interpolation you can come with the value of what? FCR equals to 141. Now listen, once again I am showing you there are two interpolation. One is for KL upon R ratio, okay, one interpolation, and the second interpolation for the ratio of H upon TF. So in this case there are two interpolation, not one. Okay, so you have to take care about this. Now FCR, that is 141.65 Newton per mm square from this table. Okay. Now come to the after the calculation of what? FCR from table number 13A. Okay. So we'll come to the 13A. Okay. This is what the 13A. Okay. Now listen. Don't follow 0.46. I am following alpha LT equals to 0.21 because I am using hot roll section. That is what? Steel section. Oh, sorry, hot roll section. Sorry. Okay. Now here you can see the value of FCR is given. Now what is our FCR? FCR value is 141. Okay. So just 141 to search here 141. Okay, it is in between 150 and 100. Okay, now my FY will be 250. FY will be 250. So it will be in the range of 106 and 77. I'm not. It is not clear here. Okay, so 106.8 and 77.3. So after interpolation, I got the FCD value is 101.87. Okay, that's it. It is very simple. Once I got the value of FCD, FBD, sorry, put in this formula, MD equals to gamma B into ZP into FBD. How will you calculate the ZP? Now ZP can be calculated, or it is already given in the tabular form in IS 800. Okay. So this I got the MD value in 19.62. Okay, it is greater than what the value of what 30. Okay, once let me check. Okay, bending moment. Okay, actually it is wrong. It is 84.61. Okay, section. Okay, it is 30 will be not there. It is 84. Okay, it is still it is safe 90.62. It is wrong. Okay, it is not a 30. It is what 84 because MD you have to compare with the calculated bending moment. Okay, depending upon the UDF. Okay, now the next step is very simple. It is same as design of simply laterally supported beam. check for deflection. Okay, so check for deflection for the simply supported will have the formula 5 WL to power 4 upon 384 EI. Now E, you can assume 2.1 or 2 into 10 to power 5 Newton per mm square. I value is what actually I axis. You can easily you can easily find from the steel table. All values are given. You can calculate the value of what del. That is what the calculated deflection, and it should be less than span upon uh, 300. Okay, span upon 300. Now this formula is already given in IS 800. Okay, so here nothing you have to remember. Okay, then now our last step is remember left the check for the shear resistance. Okay, now check for the shear resistance will calculate by using this formula. Fw equals to B1 minus N1 into Tw, okay, into Fw upon gamma m0. Now B1 it is actually it is given in IS 800. Okay, what is a B1? It is from the center to the outermost. Okay, N1 equals to 0.5 Tf upon R1, Tf plus R1. Okay, so by using by this formula, I can got this value. Okay, it should be always greater than the calculated shear value. Okay, it is more than 6. Is more than 6. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so I hope you understood this one. Okay, any questions?